These are Season 20's most chaotic episodes ever. The episode starts with Peter walking in, and Lois greeting him with a cheerful, "Good morning." Out of nowhere, Peter says, "Happy Valentine's Day." Lois is shocked. Peter remembered Valentine's Day? What is going on? Peter admits he's not been a great partner and pulls out a surprise gift.
A Pendleton? Okay, can I talk to you upstairs for a near-the-vent argument?
Nothing says "I love you" like a gift that screams, "Work harder." Lois isn't happy. A gift that says you need to exercise? Not exactly romantic. Peter tries to explain he saw it on TV, and Lois decides to give it a try. The next day, she's already on the bike.
I'm your instructor, Cody Spraytan. Are you ready to pedal so hard your periods go away?
Yes, it's not healthy, but it's convenient.
Nothing like Cody's weird pep talks to make exercise sound terrifying. The next day, Lois is back on the bike, doing her thing. Suddenly, someone beats her in the game. She's shocked. Who's faster than her? It's Bonnie. Lois takes it as a challenge and starts pedaling like crazy.
You're not taking this from me, bitch. Suck it, Vaughn.
Lois turning a casual workout into the Olympics of petty. Lois gets obsessed. She's spending all of her time on the bike. One day, Stewie walks into the bathroom and sees someone showering. He's impressed by the muscular body until he realizes who it is.
Whoa, did we get that European exchange student I saw on TikTok?
Hey, little man.
Lois? But you're hot.
Stewie's crush arc just took a wild, awkward turn. At dinner, Lois shows off her new look. Meg says she looks great, but Chris, as usual, cracks a joke.
Yeah, you're ripped. You look like Madonna.
You want to say that again? Who do I look like?
The mom from Modern Family.
Chris digging his own grave in record time. Stewie is obsessed with how Lois looks now. He asks Brian what he thinks.
I say this in the most respectful way possible, but don't you think she looks a little mannish?
Mannish? Yeah, awesome, right?
Brian's compliments are basically insults with sprinkles. Later, at church, the priest hears Peter's voice and asks him to fill in for a sick choir boy. Peter, loving the attention, happily agrees.
Wow.
That was amazing! How would you like to be a regular member of the choir?
I'll do it, buddy, under one condition. We shake like that epic handshake meme.
You got a deal, buddy.
Joining the choir is cool, but meme-worthy handshakes? Essential. At Stewie's kindergarten, there's a parent-student activity. Stewie is acting weird, totally obsessed with Lois.
You ready to play again? Me too. My refraction period is very short. I finish fast, but I can go a lot. Some people prefer that. A good refractor.
Stewie's gaming energy is oddly, unsettling. Afterwards, Stewie tells Brian about his date with Lois, and as always, it's pretty odd.
When we parked the car, she did that thing where she leaned over and unbuckled me from my car seat. And she took a little extra time fishing around for that bottom safety belt. You know what that means.
It means she's just trying to keep her sanity, Stewie. At bedtime, Lois comforts a crying Stewie by letting him sleep in her room. The next morning, Stewie is super happy.
Hey, so don't tell anybody, but I slept with Lois last night.
Stewie casually dropping drama like it's a soap opera. This episode was chaos from start to finish. Peter's gift fail, Lois's gym obsession, and Stewie's weird crush made it unforgettable. The Griffins sure know how to turn a simple day into a complete mess. Lois's gym obsession surprises everyone, but while she's turning heads, Brian's guilt in the next episode stirs up unexpected chaos. The episode kicks off with the Griffins all gathered on Christmas Eve. They're chilling, enjoying the holiday vibes, when suddenly, Stewie sees a panda toy commercial on TV. And of course, like any kid would, he absolutely needs that toy.
I must have that toy.
What, are you serious?
Of course I'm serious. I'm a child and I just saw a commercial. Or maybe you don't want me to have a happy American Christmas.
Stewie's logic is flawless. If it's on TV, it's basically a Christmas miracle waiting to happen. Lois, in her usual mom mode, tells the family that it's time for their annual tree lighting ceremony. But Meg, being, well, Meg, announces she's got her own little tradition, handing out hard-boiled eggs in a Kroger bag at the ceremony. And everyone's totally on board with that. Right?
Okay, we get it, Meg. You're dark and different. Wow, Meg really is dark and different.
Yeah, they call me Meg the Egg.
Meg is really out here trying to make eggs her holiday contribution. We love a weird tradition. Fast forward to the ceremony, Meg offers Joe an egg, and he goes way too deep into how perfect the yolk is. Talk about making a meal out of a hard-boiled egg.
4.5 minutes.
Joe, really? That's what Christmas is about, timing eggs? Meanwhile, back at their usual hangout spot, aka the bar, Peter and his friends are arguing about music. Joe and Quagmire are debating about a song when Quagmire drops this line.
Damn it, Joe, we're supposed to be annoying Brian, not this! Oh, okay, I get it.
Quagmire, always on task to ruin Brian's life. Gotta get those priorities straight. Brian's off in his own little world, tipsy and arguing about the real meaning of Christmas. Money, of course. But when his words start to slur, he gets in his car, angry, and drives off, only to crash straight into a wooden nativity scene.
Oh, crap. Why couldn't I have hit the court-ordered menorah instead?
Brian, always choosing the worst possible target for his holiday rage. Now Brian's in full panic mode. He tries to cover his tracks by throwing the nativity pieces into his car and parking it at the airport. The next day, the news reports that the nativity scene is missing. Cue Brian's nervous breakdown.
Whoever took that nativity scene best sleep with one eye open, 'cause I'm on your trail. And I'm gonna hunt you down like the mighty grizzly hunts a Slim Jim left on the dashboard of a Ford Taurus.
After watching the news, Brian gets nervous, and Stewie notices. When Stewie asks what's wrong, Brian denies it at first, but eventually, he admits it.
Yes, it was me. I destroyed the nativity scene with my car. But you've got to keep your mouth shut about this. I could be in a lot of trouble. I already hid the evidence.
Classic Brian, trying to hide it but failing miserably. But here's where things get wild. The mayor shows up at the Griffin house, asking about the incident. Brian and Stewie quickly make up a story, but the mayor isn't buying it. He tells Brian he could actually help with the investigation. What a twist!
Matter of fact, I was thinking a hound like you'd be just the thing to help sniff out some new clues.
The mayor's idea of Brian helping? Let him sniff around. Not exactly top detective work. Back at home, the Griffins are watching TV when Stewie's writing his Christmas list. Suddenly, the mayor announces on TV something very important.
So until I get some answers, as mayor, I'm officially canceling Christmas in Quahog.
Canceling Christmas?
Well, that escalated quickly. Christmas canceled because of one nativity scene. Cue the chaos. Joe and the police officers are going door to door, removing Christmas decorations. Stewie's devastated. How is he supposed to get his precious panda toy now? Someone better explain this to him quickly.
Stewie, I'm so sorry, but you gotta understand the position I'm in.
Poor Stewie. No panda toy and Christmas canceled? He's not having it. The mayor tracks down Brian's car at the airport parking lot, drags it back to Peter's house, and insists on opening the trunk. Brian denies everything, but there's nowhere to hide now.
No way! You didn't even hide the evidence?
Brian Griffin, you are under arrest.
Just for destroying public property and fleeing the scene of a crime?
Brian's criminal skills are subpar. Sorry, buddy, but your cover's blown. Now, Brian's in jail, trying to stay positive about his Christmas in the slammer. He looks out the window and sees the Griffins having the time of their lives. And that's when it hits him. He misses his family.
Huh. Looks like Stewie got that toy he wanted. A kid and his bear.
What's more innocent than that?
Finally, Brian realizes what Christmas is about. Too bad it took jail time for that epiphany. Feeling the weight of his actions, Brian finally realizes that Christmas is about family, not chaos or presents. The mayor pops by to tell him it's time to go home, because Christmas really isn't Christmas without family. The classic holiday lesson. Christmas equals family and tennis balls.
Oh, Brian, it's good to have you back. It wasn't Christmas without you.
I'm happy to be back. And I'm happy to have my tennis ball.
By the end of the episode, Brian gets the lesson. Christmas is about family, love, and, not destroying public property. Typical Quahog holiday madness. Chaos, arrests, and a last-minute epiphany. Who knew? Brian's guilt spirals out of control, leading to a shocking town-wide decision. Meanwhile, Peter's detective work in the next episode uncovers some messy truths. Presented in a film noir style, Peter takes on the role of Detective Mac. A man shows up and Peter gives him the bad news.
So I tailed your wife. Sorry, pal, she's having an affair. Too bad.
Classic Peter, delivering heartbreak with the enthusiasm of someone announcing a weather report. Then Lois walks in wearing a stunning outfit. Peter pours her a drink, and she lays out her problem.
So, Mr. Book Pro, I'm here because my daughter is missing. She's a nun. Frankly, we weren't that close. I gave her to the church after my husband died in the war.
Ah, Lois, turning a missing daughter into casual small talk over cocktails. Peter starts digging into Meg's disappearance and heads to the church for clues. He questions a priest.
I'm here looking for a nun. Recognize her? Of course, that's Sister Megan. She runs the church orphanage.
As Peter leaves, he bumps into Brian, who's also on the case.
She called me a few days ago and said she had a big story. We were supposed to meet at a speakeasy, but she disappeared before we could get together.
Brian, always conveniently there with half the information and double the attitude. They hit their usual bar where Peter questions the owner about Meg. The guy spills the tea about her boss.
The Cardinal? Let me tell you, that priest is a shady cat. I heard that when the state voted on prohibition, he rigged the vote to get alcohol banned.
I tell you, something's going on at that church.
The bar owner adds that 2 other girls have gone missing too. Peter and Brian's reaction? Classic deflection.
Oh boy, I am just so busy with this
Sister
Sister
Megan thing. Reading paperwork.
Leave it to these 2 to care deeply. Only when it's convenient. Peter decides to consult Joe, who's now Ace Hardware. Peter tells him his suspicions, and Joe warns him.
I'd be careful if I were you. He's a heavy hitter in this town.
Joe, ever the voice of reason in a sea of chaos. Not that Peter listens. Back in his office, Peter gets a call. They found Meg, but she's been shot.
Well, one thing's for sure. We got a killer shark on our hands. Close the beaches.
Peter, solving a murder like it's a summer blockbuster. Peter discovers a film reel on Meg and develops it. The pictures show the Cardinal with mobsters. Ms. Patbottom suggests a theory.
Well, maybe they were in cahoots. Sister Megan discovered it, and that's why the Cardinal had her killed.
Peter heads back to the church and corners a weak link. The guy spills the truth.
The mob works with the Cardinal because he's the biggest bootlegger in town. He sneaks in booze from Italy aboard church ships, and because the contents are supposed to be religious, no one checks.
Peter unraveling a booze empire one shaky informant at a time. Then, Peter remembers voting on alcohol prohibition. When he asks about it, the guy drops another bombshell.
Wake up! He didn't rig the vote because he's against drinking. He did it so he could have the market all to himself. It was a ruse, a sham, a snow job.
Turns out, the Cardinal was playing chess while everyone else played checkers. Peter storms into the church to confront the Cardinal, but finds him stabbed to death. As he's standing there, the police arrive.
We got an anonymous tip that a heavyset man entered the church with a knife. And funny thing, we got that tip right after getting the ballistics report on Sister Megan's murder. She was killed with your gun.
Peter, caught red-handed and red-faced. Who's surprised? Not us. Peter gets arrested but is bailed out by Brian, who gives him a pep talk.
Listen here, Mac. I know you were framed, and I want you to figure out who did it so I can write the story.
Brian, mixing journalistic ambition with reluctant friendship. Using photos from Meg's mom, Peter realizes it was his assistant all along. The assistant confesses.
So I called that canine journalist pretending to be Sister Megan, and then I killed her with Mac's gun.
And the assistant wins the most chaotic backstory award. Congrats! In the end, the case is solved and Peter and Lois go back to their chaotic but happy lives. As usual, nothing in Coag stays normal for long. Peter's detective work takes a surprising twist. Up next, Lois's pill obsession causes chaos like never before. At the start of the episode, Lois is making breakfast for the kids. Meg and Chris walk into the kitchen and she tells them to eat.
No time, Mom. The girl I stalk has field hockey practice at 8. I love a red-cheeked barbarian.
How about you, Meg?
Can't. I'm weirdly the girl he's stalking.
Family bonding. One stalking, the other getting stalked. Classic Griffins. Lois asks Stewie what he wants to do since it's just the two of them today. Then Brian comes in asking if Stewie's lunch is ready since it's his first day of preschool.
Oh my God, is it September already? Wow, so I have the whole day to myself. Let's see, I guess I've got nothing to do except create an excuse to touch the Target cashier lady I want to run away with.
Lois's priorities. Preschool lunch? Nah. Escaping reality with a Target romance? Absolutely. Lois has been binge-watching Netflix so long that even Netflix is worried about her. Joe shows up to check on her because Netflix sent him. Brian thinks it's the delivery guy and bolts to the door barking.
Oh my God. Oh, Brian, are you okay? Oh, crap. I can't remember if doggy arms are supposed to bend that way.
Brian risking life and limb for imaginary snacks. Peter is cleaning out his garage when Cleveland asks for something.
Peter, you're throwing this ping pong table out? Can I have it?
Sure, it's all yours.
Generosity level? Accidental. Peter just saved Cleveland a trip to the thrift store. Lois takes Brian to the vet, and the doctor examines him.
That arm looks broken. We'll have to get you some painkillers.
Brian, now dosed and drowsy, keeps mumbling, "Oh yeah." Lois gets curious and decides to try one of the pills herself.
I want a whole yeah. Or maybe just a half of a half, huh?
Lois, proving curiosity doesn't just kill cats, it also folds curtains. Lois, now hooked, starts folding everything in sight. Curtains, mattresses, you name it. When she goes for her last pill, Brian eats it, and she loses her cool.
Yeah, well, there's nothing I love more than my dog, Brian, and I'm not gonna take the chance that he doesn't have enough pills just in case.
Lois, I'm good. I don't want to get hooked on those things.
Brian, trying to be the voice of reason while Lois spirals into pill-induced madness? Lois starts begging the neighbors for pills like a neighborhood scavenger hunt. Meanwhile, the ping pong table Peter gave Cleveland becomes a huge hit, with people lining up to play. Naturally, Peter wants it back.
Now, Peter, just because Cleveland had the vision to see the potential in your ping pong table you didn't, that doesn't mean you have the right to take it back.
Peter mastering the art of giving, taking, and ruining all at once. Desperate for her last pill, Lois accidentally drops it in the toilet. She shoves Stewie in to retrieve it. Brian shows up just in time to stop Stewie from drowning.
I just wanted the pill.
Lois, you need help.
When your dog is more responsible than you, it's time for a serious wake-up call. To fix Lois's obsession, Brian locks her in a cage overnight. She dreams about pills the whole time, but eventually feels better.
Brian, you stayed by my side all night long?
I did. That's kind of what dogs do.
Paw? Good dog, Brian. Very good dog.
Brian, therapist, watchdog, and unpaid emotional laborer. In the end, Peter destroys the ping pong table, and Lois's pill problem causes chaos for the whole family. Just another day in the Griffin household, where peace is never invited. Lois's pill problem spins out of control, leaving her family in shambles. Meanwhile, Quagmire steps into the spotlight in the next episode with a reunion full of surprises. Lois receives an invitation to her high school reunion. Brian asks if she's taking Peter, pointing out that husbands usually tag along for these events.
Honestly, Brian, these girls come from old money, so they can be pretty stuffy and judgmental.
Well, I'm still available.
Brian, the king of second-place trophies, always ready to swoop in. The next day, Lois spots Quagmire in his uniform reading a book, and she gets an idea.
Hey, Glenn, I have this class reunion coming up soon, and I thought maybe it'd be fun if, I don't know, maybe the two of us went together?
What about Peter?
Oh, he hates those things.
Because nothing screams fun date like Quagmire and his endless charm. Lois, ready to leave for the reunion, warns everyone about the stocked fridge and pizza rules.
Peter, if you disobey me about the pizza, there will be consequences.
Lois, leaving Peter alone with pizza expecting discipline? Adorable. As soon as Lois leaves, Peter orders pizza. When the doorbell rings, he gets unusually excited.
Oh, Pizza Man's here. Do I look okay? I know, that one has a mind of its own.
Peter, more concerned about his pizza delivery fashion than his wife's reunion. The pizza guy asks to use their bathroom. After eating the pizza, the family realizes he's been in there too long, and they check on him.
I think he's had a heart attack. He's dead.
Oh my god, Dad, this is terrible.
I know. Your mother is gonna find out we had pizza.
Priorities. Corpse in bathroom? Meh. Getting busted for pizza? Tragic. At the hotel, Lois and Quagmire are mistakenly given a single bedroom. Lois quickly establishes boundaries.
But don't get any ideas, because nothing is gonna happen between us.
You have nothing to worry about. I'll be more of a gentleman than John Wayne Bobbitt with his second wife.
Lois drawing the line, Quagmire smudging it for sport. Quagmire charms Lois's friends, playing the perfect husband. Her friends gush over how sweet and thoughtful he is.
Oh, thanks for being a great husband tonight. I mean, when you got that standing ovation for comparing the estate tax to the Holocaust, I felt like the belle of the ball.
I really enjoyed spending time with you, too.
Quagmire introduces Lois to a cocktail girl, casually declaring his intentions.
This is Jenna. You might remember her boobs from hovering over your shoulder while pouring wine.
Classic Quagmire, redefining boundaries and oversharing since forever. Quagmire flirts too much, leaving Lois regretting her choice. He points out she should have brought Peter instead.
You know what? You're right. So what if he drinks too much? So what if he weighs too much? So what if he thinks Scrappy Doo is the better Doo? He's a loyal husband and a good man.
Peter, the husband who may not be perfect, but at least he's not Quagmire. Back home, the Griffins end up delivering pizzas after the pizza guy's death. Eventually, they decide to dump the body, but Brian insists on a proper farewell.
We can't just dump him face down into raw sewage without saying a few words.
You're right, Brian. I'll do the honors.
Because nothing says respect like sewage-side eulogies. In the end, everything was a big mess, as usual. Lois regretted taking Quagmire, Peter turned a pizza delivery into a disaster, and the family ended up dealing with a dead guy. Nothing ever goes right with the Griffins, but that's just how they are. Lois's reunion with Quagmire gets bizarre and messy. But back home, Peter's pizza drama in the next episode takes an even wilder turn. Lois was dropping Stewie off at school when, BAM! Something hit her car.
Oh my god, please be a dog. Please be a dog. Oh my god, it's a kid!
It's Doug! Nice hit, bitch!
Might as well sign up for bumper cars. Later, Lois went to the doctor for an eye check. He suggested glasses or LASIK surgery. She chose surgery. But when the bandages came off, the surprise wasn't great.
Oh my god, I'm blind!
Well, at least she won't have to see Peter's mess anymore. Peter, being Peter, asked if Lois could still see the stove and laundry. The doctor informed him he'd need to help her now.
Well, whatever your wife did for you, you'll now have to do for yourselves. And until she gets used to her new life, you'll need to take care of her. Feed her, bathe her, drive her places.
Looks like Peter's about to discover how washing machines actually work. Meg, worried about Lois, kept checking on her, but Lois wasn't thrilled.
Meg, please stop asking me that. I'm sorry. I hate being so dependent on other people. I feel helpless and worthless.
I get it. I feel helpless and worthless 24/7.
Meg, welcome to Lois's world. Helpless and annoyed is her new normal. Meg uploaded a video of Lois's struggles and it went viral. Lois realized she could cash in.
You know, I'm the one who went blind, Meg. I'm the one who's suffering. Now, the least I can do is make some money from it. Now, stand back. It's time to make another video.
Blindness? More like a business plan? Even after her eyesight returned, Lois kept pretending to be blind, but her cover slipped when she asked about shirt colors.
How do you know what colors they are? Mom, you can see? I knew it! I can't believe you've been lying. Why?
Don't you get it? I have to be blind to keep the money rolling in.
Nothing says family values like fake blindness for cash. At a big show, Lois got excited over a donation and exposed herself. Figuratively, of course.
Lois, are you actually blind?
Yes. I mean, no. I was blind when I started ICU, but I got my sight back a few days ago.
And just like that, Lois went from ICU to I see you're busted. This episode was a roller coaster of chaos. Lois faked blindness, Peter bumbled through basic chores, and Meg somehow became a viral video producer. In the end, honesty didn't just come out, it tripped, fell, and spilled everywhere. Classic Griffin family mess. Lois's fake blindness fools everyone and brings laughs. In the next episode, Meg's criminal imagination takes chaos to a whole new level. Peter and his gang got inspired by a VR ad on TV. But thanks to Peter's genius spelling skills, they end up at VR Space instead of a VR arcade.
I mixed up the letters. We'll get there.
Good job, Peter. At least they didn't end up in outer space. Meanwhile, Meg was busy trying to hustle at the snooker club. She kept challenging everyone, but no one wanted to play.
He's scared. Everybody's scared. Damn bunch of panzos over here.
Guess they were scared of her skills. Or maybe just Meg in general. Peter and his buddies finally found the actual VR world. The instructor welcomed them with the usual sanitized spiel.
Now who's ready to put something on your face that was on someone else's face 15 minutes ago?
Wow! Mine says low battery. Charge immediately.
At the arcade, Meg met a boy and offered him a ride. He asked her to stop at a store, then pulled out a gun. Meg quickly regretted her decision.
What is happening right now? Damn it! I should have just stayed home. This is a bigger mistake than the Bill Belichick Christmas album.
Yep, this is why you don't offer free rides to random guys. The cops chased them after the robbery, but Meg's surprisingly good driving saved the day.
All right, Meg. That was awesome. Where have you been all my life?
Probably mostly at my house.
She can't park straight, but she can escape the police? Classic Meg. Quagmire couldn't stop hiccuping. He tried doctors and even went to Cleveland's church for help.
My mama always said that hiccups are a sign that the devil's got a hold of you. If anything can drive him away, it's Reverend Lucius.
When all else fails, pray the hiccups away. Meg kept driving the criminal guy as he robbed more places. She became his getaway driver without meaning to.
That's what I'm talking about, Meg!
Woo! I love hanging out with you. That was such a rush. This must be what it's like to get a B12 shot.
Who knew Meg had a future in crime? She's really branching out. Quagmire, tired of his endless hiccups, begged Peter to end his misery.
I don't want to live like this. I need you to kill me.
What? Quagmire, I can't do that. You're my best friend.
Only Quagmire would treat hiccups like a life or death situation. Just when Quagmire's hiccups stopped, Peter showed up, ready to help him. Quagmire tried to explain, but Peter didn't listen.
Oh, that's exactly what you said not to listen to.
Peter, please, I swear, they're gone. Listen.
Sorry, Quagmire, I promise to take you out of your misery.
Peter's problem-solving skills, zero listening, maximum chaos. In the end, we learn Meg wasn't a criminal driver after all. It was all in her imagination, and Chris had to snap her out of it.
I watched you in front of Ross Dress for Less. You were just revving the engine with your hand down your pants. Look, whatever's going on with you, we're gonna figure it out.
Thank you, Chris.
This episode was pure chaos. Peter messing up VR, Meg imagining herself as a getaway driver, and Quagmire turning hiccups into a life crisis. By the end, nothing made sense. But hey, that's the Griffin family for you. Meg's wild criminal fantasies spiral out of control, but in the next episode, Stewie's pregnancy scare brings the Griffin house to its breaking point. At the start of the episode, Stewie was super excited about the slippery slide, but Brian thought it was dangerous. Stewie, as usual, had a very Stewie response.
Really? Because the multicultural kids on the box seem to be having fun.
Ah, yes. Because cartoon kids are the standard for safety checks. Even though Brian warned him, Stewie jumped on the slide like he was invincible. A bump sent him flying straight to the ground near Joe.
Public humiliation. You must be a United States Senator.
Good one, Joe.
Adding insult to injury. Literally. Later, while changing clothes, Stewie noticed blood in his underwear. Naturally, his wild imagination kicked in.
Rupert, I'm having my period. It's a true rite of passage, like an Italian's baptism.
Stewie, redefining biology one weird thought at a time. Stewie spiraled into a full-on breakdown over his made-up period.
Ugh, Rupert, I need my heat pad, I need Kate, I need Leo, and I need ice cream. And I need not a word from you about it.
Because nothing says period like Titanic vibes and snacks, Brian tried to explain that Stewie wasn't having a period. It was probably just a slide injury. But Stewie, ever the drama king, wasn't convinced.
Oh, yeah? If I'm not having my period, then why am I drinking herbal tea from a large earthenware mug with no handle on it?
Stewie, trust me, boys can't get periods.
Brian, it's 2022. There's no such thing as a boy anymore.
Brian, trying to reason with Stewie's woke biology? Good luck with that. Meanwhile, Peter and his buddies escaped the city for some peace and quiet. The mayor checked in to see how Peter was doing.
Yeah, I was pretty bummed. But then I found these great desserts labeled cow pie.
You're off to a real bad start here, Peter.
Peter with questionable food choices. Stewie, after some online research, because that's always reliable, reached a shocking conclusion.
Oh my God, Rupert! I'm pregnant! How did this happen? What do you care anyway? I'm sure you'll do what you always do and bury yourself in your work.
Stewie's internet diagnosis? Always wrong, always hilarious. Later, Stewie cheerfully told Brian he was no longer crying on the couch, but then he dropped another bombshell.
Because I'm pregnant.
I'll pay to get rid of it. I'm sorry, that's just a reflex.
Yes, I freaked out at first too, but we decided it's for the best.
Brian, officially done with Stewie's emotional roller coaster. Brian tried to set him straight, but Stewie wasn't ready to back down. He even had baby names picked out.
Now, you've brought a new twist to this. I don't want to diminish how weird this is, but it's time for it to stop. Because for God's sake, you are not pregnant.
Brian's patience is officially out of stock. Finally, Stewie admitted he wasn't pregnant.
Yes, I went to the hospital for a sonogram and got yelled at by an angry nurse. In case you were wondering whether she likes nonsense.
Even medical professionals have their limits when it comes to Stewie. Stewie's pregnancy scare is wildly over the top, and the next one, Peter's birthday obsession, leads to even more chaos. In the episode, at breakfast, Meg asks about Peter and Lois explains.
It's Office birthdays today at the brewery. Ever since your father was put in charge, he's been taking it very seriously.
Because nothing says career goals like planning cupcakes and balloons. Lois tells Peter he's spending too much time on birthdays and not enough on actual work. Peter, of course, has a solid defense.
Come on, Lois. It's the one thing I look forward to at work. It's the one thing I'm good at. I am to birthdays what J.K. Rowling is to now problematic wizard stories.
Peter, living proof that everyone needs a niche, no matter how questionable. At Stewie's preschool, things go south fast. While the teacher is away, Stewie pranks Doug, leading to a bloody nose.
Doug, are you okay? Oh my God, what happened? Who did this to you?
Stewie!
Stuart Griffin Suarez. Is that true?
No! And thank you for that.
Stewie, always ready to lie. With gratitude. After Lois drops him off, Stewie is reminded he has detention.
Stewie, no, detention isn't in preschool. It's in the elementary school building.
Detention in preschool? Stewie's just speedrunning bad behavior milestones. At the brewery, Peter throws another party. Enter the new manager, who's not impressed.
Yes, and I've been charged with improving brewery productivity. And it has become clear to me that the best way to start is by canceling office birthdays, effective immediately.
And nothing boosts productivity like soul-crushing boredom. Peter protests the party ban. His boss insists it's time for discipline.
But Mr. Lloyd, you can't take away office birthdays. People love them.
Peter, champion of workplace fun and extended lunch breaks. Meanwhile, Stewie bonds with the elementary kids during detention. His exit, however, isn't exactly polite.
Well, Stewie, you've completed your detention. What have you learned from this experience?
That your mother's a whore?
Stewie, always finding the right words to ruin the moment. Peter refuses to give up on birthdays and secretly moves the parties to another room, but his boss catches him.
Griffin, is this some kind of secret birthday celebration room? Mr. Griffin, you leave me no other choice. You're fired.
Peter's downfall, betrayed by loud music and questionable decisions. Post-detention, Stewie comes home with newfound confidence, bossing everyone around.
You're gonna give me what I want.
What are you talking about?
You know, we're doing this and you're gonna find a way to enjoy it.
Stewie, preschooler by day, crime boss by night. Later, Lois takes Stewie for a bath, which miraculously calms him down.
Oh, looks like somebody was overdue for his bath time. That's why you've been so cranky. All right, after this, we'll get you into your footsie jammies and tucked into bed.
Nothing like bubbles to wash away world domination ambitions. Peter goes to delete his search history, but accidentally sparks an office revolution. His boss reinstates him with a compromise. One party a month.
And I've learned that every office needs a worst employee. that all the other employees can look down on.
I can be that. I can be that guy.
Peter redefining success by being the gold standard of failure. In the end, Peter gets his job back, and Stewie returns to normal. Just another day in Chaos Central. Peter's birthday obsession is causing chaos at the brewery, but in the next one, things get even more dramatic when Alana tries to take Lois's life. Lois gives piano lessons to her student Alana, who she says is her best student ever. Why? Not because of her skills, but for a hilariously awkward reason.
And you were always the only teacher in town who didn't rest a hand on my knee while I played.
Yeah, that's one way to set the bar high, Lois. Moving on, Lois learns that Alana, despite graduating 5 years ago, hasn't gone to college. When Lois asks why, Alana admits she can't afford it. Lois, with her usual sharp humor, delivers a priceless response.
Oh, you're not gonna tell me you can't pay the $7 for today's lesson, because that's our sandwich money.
Nothing comes between Lois and her sandwiches. Feeling a little guilty? Maybe. Lois decides to help Alana. Her plan? Hire Alana as a house helper. She pitches the idea to Peter, but of course, Peter is half listening while cheering on his TV.
But I just think we could hire her to help around the house. You know, with the laundry, driving the kids to school, all that stuff.
Yes!
So, now, Alana is officially part of the Griffin household. At first, everything seems fine, but soon, Alana gets way too comfortable. One morning, Lois walks downstairs to find Alana at the breakfast table, wearing her clothes.
My clothes were in the wash, so I borrowed your clothes and Peter's bra.
But, Alana, why is your hair red?
I decided to dye it. I'm a huge Kathy Griffin fan.
Borrowing clothes without permission? Awkward. Dyeing your hair to match Lois? Creepy. By now, it's clear Alana isn't just cozying up, she's trying to be Lois 2.0. Think that was the weirdest part? Think again. Alana's evil plan kicks in. She hires gangsters to kidnap Lois. Unsuspecting Lois strolls into a grocery store that's way more suspicious than she realizes.
What the hell? All they sell here is rope and body bags? Uh-oh.
But Alana's not done. She fakes a goodbye note from Lois to make her disappearance seem voluntary. And naturally, the note is peak ridiculousness.
Dear family, I've decided to leave you all and become a lesbian.
Dad, how did this happen?
I blame myself. Because of my fat, I can't be on top.
Peter, always a deep thinker, doesn't miss a chance to make it about himself. The kidnappers decide to throw Lois off a cliff, but she had one last request.
Oh, wait.
Yeah?
Please don't let two white women make a podcast about my disappearance.
Lois, priority straight, even on the brink of doom. Peter warned the family to prepare for a messy house, while Brian tried to emphasize the gravity of their loss. Peter, of course, got emotional.
Oh, I fully understand, Brian. Lois is an angel. She's my soulmate. There's never been another Lois, and there never will be. Not for me. She's irreplaceable.
At Peter and Alana's wedding, an injured Lois bursts in, accusing Alana of trying to kill her. Alana then revealed her motives.
I'm sorry, Lois. I just wanted your life so badly. I've never seen a man love his wife as much as Peter loves you.
God, you need to get out more.
And your beautiful children, and your dog, the baby I never liked.
Well, I was on to you, sir.
Alana, when your villain speech doubles as an awkward roast. In the end, Peter and Lois reunite and Joe arrests Alana. Chaos, as always, ruled the day.